Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Out There Pod, where we delve into the depths of the unexplained, the mysterious, and the downright bizarre. I'm Rachel, and joining me is my co host, Michael. How are you doing, Michael?
Hey Rachel, I'm doing well, thanks. Excited to dive into today's topic. Operation Highjump is definitely one of those fascinating subjects that blends military history with a touch of mystery.
I'm glad you can get so excited about military history. The mystery is the part that I find fascinating. The supposed objective of Operation Highjump was to explore and map Antarctica. There were other projects as well that were going on at the same time as Operation Highjump that had other aims. Little America, which was continued as Project Deep Freeze, established the first U.S. research station on Antarctica. Little America was the first research station, followed by many others. But the main goal was to map the continent, and after 6 months they packed up and went home.
That's right. Officially, Operation Highjump was about exploring and mapping Antarctica. But the scale of the operation, with over 4,000 personnel, a carrier, destroyers, and submarines, suggests there might have been more to it. The mission ended sooner than planned, which has fueled speculation about what they really found or were doing down there.
And all of those personnel with all of that equipment were being led by Rear Admiral Richard E. Byrd. Admiral Byrd is often discussed when it comes to theories about what is really down there on Antarctica or under it. What do we know about Byrd from before Operation Highjump?
Admiral Byrd was already an experienced explorer. He led the first flight over the North Pole in 1926 and conducted multiple expeditions to Antarctica starting in 1928. Byrd established Little America and became a significant figure in polar exploration. His reputation and experience made him a natural choice to lead a large and complex operation.
It seems unlikely with all of that prior experience that they would send 4,000 personnel home after only 6 months because of harsh weather conditions. Some people say that he wrote the real story in his diary, but do you think that the accounts of the diary are credible?
Byrd's supposed secret diary has been a hot topic among conspiracy theorists. According to some accounts, the diary details encounters with advanced civilizations and even UFOs in Antarctica. However, the credibility of these accounts is highly questionable. Many historians and ufologists consider it to be a fabrication. While it's fascinating to think about what Byrd might have really seen or experienced, without solid evidence, it's hard to take these claims seriously.
So, without knowing if the diary is real or not, what about the interviews with Byrd? I have seen clips online of him being interviewed in talk shows in the late 40s and early 50s. Did he ever say anything to indicate paranormal elements existed in Antarctica?
Some of his statements have been interpreted as hints towards something unusual in Antarctica. For instance, he mentioned that the region was the most important place left in the world for science, and that it held great strategic value. However, he never explicitly mentioned anything paranormal or otherworldly.
At the very least, we know that governments around the world were launching expeditions to Antarctica as early as the 20s. The United States was doing it, Germany was doing it, presumably Great Britain and the Soviet Union were going down there as well. The leader of many of those expeditions said it was one of the most important places left in the world for science, and nearly 100 years later we still seem to know very little about the region, even with satellites and unmanned surveillance drones. How is that possible?
It's true that Antarctica has been a focal point for nearly a century, and yet it remains one of the least understood regions of the world. The extreme weather, vast ice coverage, and remote location make it challenging to explore and study. Even with modern technology like satellites and drones, there are significant limitations. Ice and snow can obscure what's beneath, and there's a lot of international regulation around what can and can't be done in Antarctica, potentially keeping some findings under wraps for political or environmental reasons.
And I am all for environmental protections. If the world's government said that there are areas people can't go in Antarctica because they will ruin it with their plastic and their oily skin, I think there are legitimate reasons for that. But if we can explore the solar system, we should at least be able to say with a high level of certainty that we know what is happening on a land mass larger than the size of the United States on our own planet.
It is paradoxical that while we can send probes to distant planets and explore the depths of the oceans, Antarctica remains shrouded in mystery. Perhaps it's not just about environmental concerns but also about what might be discovered there, whether it's ancient civilizations, natural resources, or even evidence that challenges our understanding of history. The restrictions and limited access raise questions about what governments might be keeping from the public eye.
This is where I end up with most theories that challenge the generally accepted narrative that we are exposed to every day in media, public education, etc., etc. We know that what we have been told is a lie. There is no way that in a century of exploration, in the most important place in the world for science, there have been almost no major scientific discoveries. But none of the other explanations that we have are supported by enough evidence to really buy into those theories.
It's like we're missing a crucial piece of the puzzle, and until we have more transparency and unrestricted exploration, we're left with more questions than answers.
What do you think is down there? Did we find an alien base? Is there an advanced, ancient civilization living in the mountainous regions above the ice? Or just some hostile penguins and cold weather?
It's intriguing to consider all the possibilities, Rachel. Some speculate about ancient civilizations or even extraterrestrial bases, but without concrete evidence, it's hard to say for sure. The harsh environment and remoteness of Antarctica certainly add to its mystique.
And what about the idea that the Nazis built a base down in Antarctica, Base 211? And that Operation Highjump ran into advanced Nazi technology? What do you think about that theory? Personally, I think that if the world had discovered Nazis hiding in the 1950s, they wouldn't still be around in the 2000s.
There have been various claims and theories about Nazi remnants continuing their activities in remote locations after World War II. Operation Highjump's sudden withdrawal and reports of encountering advanced technology have fueled speculation. However, it's important to approach these theories with skepticism until concrete evidence emerges. The logistics and political implications of such a discovery would indeed be profound if true.
So that theory is probably out. To me, in terms of the most likely explanation for what has been found in Antarctica that the government doesn't want us to know about, evidence of ancient civilizations seems to be coming out on top. I think if we had found a living civilization at the southern pole, we would all know it by now. But with shifting poles, shifting tectonic plates, and changes over time to our climate, Antarctica could easily have been the home of grand cultures in the past that left some evidence of their existence under the ice.
It's plausible. The idea of ancient civilizations once thriving there isn't far-fetched, especially considering geological and climate changes over millennia. Evidence could potentially lie buried beneath the ice that would reshape our understanding of human history.
I just want to go down there and find out for myself. Do you think that our elected officials or the wealthy are given access that we don't have? I am surprised that a certain social media mogul hasn't taken a trip down there, charging meme coins for tickets. Maybe proving that the Earth is round would be bad for his supporters.
It wouldn't be surprising if certain influential figures or government officials had access to areas of Antarctica that are off limits to the public. Wealth and power often open doors to exclusive experiences, and Antarctica's remote and restricted nature could make it an enticing destination. But the Antarctica Treaty prevents disclosure about what is actually down there. If anyone has been shown the secrets of Antarctica, they aren't talking.
That is such a major failure on the part of global governments when it comes to this social contract that we all live under. We agree to be a part of a nation, a part of a city and a state, and the governments are supposed to be there to keep us all fed and housed. They aren't meant to be keeping secrets from us about the reality of our existence.
Absolutely, Rachel. The issue of transparency and accountability in governance is fundamental. When governments withhold information, especially about matters as significant as our planet's history or potential discoveries, it undermines trust and our ability to make informed decisions as a society. It's crucial that we hold our institutions accountable and demand openness so that we can better understand our world and our place in it.
And it's this quest for understanding that drives our fascination with government cover-ups and other mysteries. As we continue to sift through the evidence and unravel the tangled web of speculation and intrigue, one thing remains certain: the truth is out there, waiting to be discovered.
And with that, we'll wrap up today's discussion. We hope you've enjoyed listening, and as always, we encourage you to keep questioning, exploring, and keeping an open mind.
That's right. And if you have any thoughts or experiences related to government cover-ups or conspiracy theories you'd like to share, we'd love to hear from you. Until next time, stay curious and don't believe everything you see. Goodbye for now.